guys, and welcome to Monday's Mindset and Manifestation. We are talking about a new beginning and how can we reset and raise our vibe. So if you're on the live, say hi. I wanted to talk about this because we had Easter yesterday. Don't know if you celebrate or not, but we even had Passover. And even with spring, this is really a time when we see a lot of new beginnings and new life and new growth. And I saw a great example of that on Easter morning, and I want to share that with you, and also how you can start consciously choosing your vibe, your vibration, so that you can change that first, get into a better feeling place, and start attracting more of what you want, no matter what. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Nikki Ganjemi. I do help you transform your mind, reprogram it for success. So welcome and hello. How are you doing? Let me know in the chat box, how are you doing right now? What's going on for you? Any mindset shifts that you're looking for support with? So yesterday was Easter, and my family, we have these hosta plants. They're really pretty, but they came with the house, and the landscape was redesigned. So black tarp was laid down to cover the old landscaping that was ripped up those hosta plants and all the other plants, put the black tarp down, and then these heavy beach rocks. And then we planted seagrass and other things to just change the whole landscape. Well, each year those hosta plants, somehow they find their way. They push through the black tarp, through the rocks, and they sprout. And I find it really interesting and almost like an analogy for us that we can move through so many things. We're so much stronger than we think. Well, on Easter morning, that one little hosta plant made its way through the tarp, through the rocks, and showed itself on Easter morning. And I said, this is a really great example of renewal and new life and new beginnings on Easter morning. And what if we can start putting our focus on that just a little bit, just for a little bit each day? I know we've got a lot of terrible things that are going on, and I do want to acknowledge that. And there's just a lot of really horrific things, right? And I'm not discounting that, but I do want to shift the conversation over to what else is possible on the other side of all this. And are we going back to normal, or can there be something more and something better? And I think that there is. So I wanted to share the analogy of the plant, how we are strong and we can move and navigate through anything that we put our minds to. And also I read a quote this morning. It's an Abraham quote, and they say, offer a vibration that matches your desire rather than offering a vibration that keeps matching what is. And I love this quote because, and I feel it's really timely right now, because so many of us, I think everybody, wants things to either get back to normal or something better. We want health, we want safety, but it seems that we put our attention on what is, and we do that by looking at what's happening right now, spending too much time watching the news and things like that. That doesn't help to lift you up. It doesn't help to make you feel better by keeping your attention on what is. So how can you shift, and how can you, like this quote says, I love Abraham, this quote of offering a vibration that matches your desire. So what is it that you want? Do you want good health? Well, put your focus on that. What's one thing you can do to be healthy, to raise your immune system? It could be your diet and what you're eating, or even doing some different breathing techniques which help to calm you down and de-stress, which automatically improves your immune system. So the message is focusing on what you want instead of on what you don't want. But when we look at the current situation, when we look at the very things that we don't want, it makes sense that we don't feel good, right? And it can be hard to see beyond what is. It's like if you're in the woods, let's say you're hiking, and there's a lot of fog, and if you're surrounded by this thick, dense fog, it's really hard to see beyond that, right? But if you were to just like rise up and be above the fog and have that aerial view, you would be able to see beyond it. Things would look so much more clearly. So it becomes difficult to see what's beyond right now when we're feeling low. So the one way, and the only way I know of, that you can feel better, you can see beyond what is to raise your vibe, is to be tuned in. Abraham also uses the analogy of a toaster. And when you want to toast your bread, you have to plug the toaster in. You plug the toaster in first, right? So it's got power. It's tuned in, tapped in, turned on, and you're able to toast your bread. You would never put your slice of bread in the toaster without plugging it in and push the button down and expect the bread to toast. You would never do that. You know that it's got to be plugged in first. And it's the same thing with you. It's like whatever it is that you want that might not be happening for you right now, stop and question and ask yourself, am I plugged in? Am I tuned in to the energy that is required for me to have X, Y, Z, whatever that is? And I brought a little prop, because I do love to use props. But I find that when something doesn't work out the way we want, we automatically think that it's something wrong that we did, that we made a mistake, we did it wrong, we're not good enough, it's an attack against our worth. But we never stop to question, am I tuned in? Am I tapped in? Am I turned on? Am I in alignment? And that's what needs to happen first. It has nothing to do with whether you're good enough or whether you deserve something or not. You know, it's like, and I brought my prop, I brought my blow dryer, because sometimes, well, not sometimes, all the time, I always plug my blow dryer in, because I would never just right now, I would never click the switch and expect this to work, because it's not plugged in. So I would plug it in, but sometimes, even though I plug it in and I go to turn it on, it still doesn't work. And it's because there's this little switch on here, this little red switch, and it says reset. And the little sticker on here says push reset button if dryer does not turn on. So where's your reset button? What do you need to do to reset? The next time you're looking to do something, whatever it is, get your website going, get more clients, make more money, whatever it is, don't let your go-to when it's not happening, don't let your go-to be, I messed up, I failed, I did something wrong, there's something wrong with me. No. Are you plugged in? Are you tuned in? Are you focused on what you want? Are you in that energy? Are you offering that vibration that matches what you want? That's what needs to be done first. So plug yourself in and reset. And this is a great time. This is a great time right now to reset, to do that inner work, right? While we're home and while we have some more time. And another thing is really decide to stay in the moment, because that's all we have. If we think too far ahead, we end up just spiraling into that anxiety and the worry and the fear, because things are very uncertain right now. We don't know what's going on. So we have the comfort of the moment. Go to the moment. Go to the present. Whoops, dropped the cord. Go to the present where you're at right now, right? And typically, if you go to the present, things are okay. And yesterday was Easter, and initially it was like, oh, this, kind of sucks. We can't be together as a family. But we did the next best thing, and we had a Zoom Easter dinner. We had a virtual dinner for Easter. And in that moment, we had great conversation. We were laughing. And in the moment, everything was good. So there's a real power to just being in the moment that you're in. That's where you're going to find some humor. That's where you're going to find a bit of peace of mind and relief. And another thing that will help you is to acknowledge what's good. Acknowledge one good thing right now. One good thing for me right now is that my power's working, because in New Jersey, the weather today has been awful, heavy rains and winds, and my power went out last night, and briefly it came back on. But that's one good thing that I could acknowledge right now. I've got power, so I could come here to you live. I've got lighting because it's gray and dull outside, right? And feel grateful for what you have. What do you have? Take a look around and feel grateful for that. Those things, deciding to stay in the present moment, acknowledging what's good, and feeling grateful for what you have, those three things will help you to offer a better vibration. It will raise your vibe so that you feel better, and then you take action from feeling better, and you'll get a completely different outcome. So let me know your comments. I want to know what you're thinking, any questions that you have. But that's what I wanted to share for you. New beginnings. Make this a reset where you reset yourself, pivot towards what you want, focus on that, stay in the moment, acknowledge what's good, and feel grateful for what you have. And when you do those things, you will feel better. You will start to raise your vibe. And when you take action from that place, you will start to attract more of the things that you want. So stay healthy, everybody. Stay well, and I will see you all on Thursday. Have a great day, and bye for now.